rebound, fought for, but won by Notre Dame. Mahorsic taking it the other way, giving it up to Anthony Sales. And there's a ball, an errant pass, turnover to Notre Dame. It'll be a Rambler ball.
The entire Rambler bench standing up.
Cunningham with the inbound. 5.5 to go in the first quarter. 5-2 Notre Dame. Cunningham wanted to size up a three. Here's Barrett. He's taken all three of the Rambler shot attempts tonight, 2 from beyond the arc. Kwasinski in the lane. Ball tipped, but they're going to call a foul. So to the line goes Jordan Kwasinski. He'll shoot a pair. It'll be Mahorchik's first personal.
Jordan Kwasinski is 2 for 6 on the year from free throw line.
Make it 3 for 7 as cuts the lead down to 2. Second free throw for Kwasinski off the front iron. And Notre Dame will play quick now. Here's Pryor. Brings it up Bergstrom. All over to Sales. There's Pryor, and he walked.
The Rambler defense hasn't done anything super special so far, but they have been forcing some unforced errors, I guess you could say.
Pryor will pick up Cunningham in the backcourt. Here's Barrett, finds Mangan. Mangan kicks it back out. Barrett now to hand it off. Jordan to Kevin to Barrett. Cunningham gets swatted away. Taken the other way, here's Sales. Sales through 2 Ramblers and the foul. Count it, and 1 for Anthony Sales. That was a beautiful display of basketball put on by Notre Dame.
Yeah, that was an impressive bucket. I'm not really sure how he got that up.
Connor Barrett tagged for that foul. Cunningham 6-0 tried to go against the 6'9 Mahorsic. As here's the free throw to complete the three-point play. It is through, so Notre Dame with an 8-3 advantage. 4:17 left in the opening quarter. Cunningham now to hand it off. Here's Barrett to Cunningham again. Now to Mangan, now to Bennett. Bennett to Mangan. Cunningham will reset. We neglected to mention that Pat Russell, number 5, is under the game for the Ramblers. And traveling, going against Bennett Kwasinski. The Notre Dame student section alive and well early here.
Notre Dame so far has been playing a very aggressive 2-3, trying to defend against Loyola's three-point shooting. And I think that's surprised the Ramblers a little bit.
Ramblers opting to go man here. It was a little bit of an ISO format as everyone had cleared out of the way. And traveling is Sales.
It's already the 3rd travel called.
So the refs running a tight ship tonight. And the Rambler student section answers. And they will re-inbound the ball.
Not really sure what the problem there was.
As we mentioned, Cunningham being picked up full court by Pryor. Gets it up to Mangan. Mangan being guarded by Mahorsic. Here's Barrett now. A foul going against the Dons. And they will pin that on Jason Bergstrom. That is his first. Notre Dame only has 2 fouls. The Ramblers have 1. 3:26 left in the first quarter. John Lynch into the game. Bounce pass that was deflected. There's a little bit of a risky pass there. It'll stay with Loyola. Cunningham will choose to inbound now. He'll run the stack. He'll do the safety out to Lynch. Ramblers swing it around. Haven't been able to get much inside since the first play of the game when they found Barrett backdoor. Here's Lynch. Lynch threw it away, but saved by Cunningham.
Very heads-up play right there.
And Cunningham will take it in, pull up, and the basket.
Surprised that wasn't goaltending, regardless of whether or not it went in. He touched the rim.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the refs would have called, and the ball thrown away on the other end, so that's a good back-to-back possessions for the Ramblers. Good awareness, as we mentioned, Kevin Cunningham saving that ball. That was long gone. Managed to turn it into a jumper of his own. The scoring spread so far for both teams, as a total of 6 players have accounted for the 11 points scored. I'm sorry, 13 points scored. Here's Mangan now, cutting in the lane. Here's Lynch. Lynch to Mangan. Mangan to Russell, got it poked away. Finds Barrett. Barrett to Mangan. Mangan for 3, off the mark. Foul on the ground. And it looks like that may be Mahorsik's second foul.
That'd be huge for Loyola to get him out of the game early.
Oh no, they'll call it on Joey Tianen. It's his first. The 6'0 sophomore. Vahe Kalajian to enter the game in place of Pat Russell, or Rusty as his teammates call him. Cunningham gets the inbound, finds Barrett in the corner. 3 ball, off the mark. Rebound. And that should go against the Ramblers. It will be Lynch's first foul.
Yeah, you said earlier these refs are calling a really tight ship. Not letting too much get by them, but none of their calls have been egregious either.
It's been a pretty physical game. As now the Dons will swing it in, and a foul called against the Ramblers. They tried to double up Mahosik down low, and that could be Lynch's second foul. It is, so Bennett will come in to replace him. Lynch with 2 quick fouls. And I don't think Loyola knew they were inbounding the ball. As Mahosik lays it in, it's 10-5. Dons with the advantage. Minute 35 left in this first quarter. And what we've seen Notre Dame lead for a good majority of it. Barrett wanted a 3. He's going to pass one up, though. Bennett now. Bennett trying to find Cunningham. Cunningham wasn't even looking. He'll turn it over. Coach Livatino incensed. Looks like he was incensed with Cunningham. Or perhaps a route that was not run.
It's been a lot of sloppy basketball from both teams so far. A couple of balls just sailing out of bounds, nowhere near.
Here is Notre Dame. D'Amico lost the ball but got it back. Tianen now. Find Tagani. There's a corner 3 off the mark. Rebound taken, Mangan up to Cunningham. Ramblers will try to push ahead a little bit. Kalajian to Mangan. Down low, Mangan lays it in through the contact. Good finish by Petey Mangan. And it's 10-7 with 40 seconds remaining. Ball poked away. Notre Dame gets there. And couldn't finish was D'Amico. Bennett gives it up to Petey. Back to Bennett. And the Ramblers should hypothetically hold for the last shot. 25 ticks on the clock. As Barrett now will hold. Finds Mangan to Cunningham with 15. Cunningham with 10 now. Cunningham driving, kicking. Barrett with a hand in his face. That was just long. That ball's going to bounce up there. And it hit the top of the backboard.
I think it was called out of bounds because it hit the black steel part above the backboard.
And buzzer beater just off the mark from 3/4 of the court. We've played a quarter here in Wilmette, Illinois. The score, Notre Dame 10, Loyola 7.
Looks like we're going to have some mid-quarter festivities.
Loyola had made it a big effort to pack the gym, as they call it, because they know how crazy the Notre Dame student section can be.
So you guys have 15 seconds to add as many balls as you want and chuck it. Try to make it in.
And it looked like Loyola just edged Notre Dame in that mid-quarter basketball half-court competition.
That was some impressive technique, especially they're not centering the shooters.
That's right.
It's a hard shot.
Very tough, but 1-0 was the final tally there. They had 30 seconds to shoot as many half-court shots as they could, and we resume play now to the second quarter of the main event. Loyola Notre Dame varsity basketball. Both teams, as we mentioned, would like to make deep runs into both the CCL and regional playoffs. And a win tonight for either of these teams would be a big momentum boost in that direction, as the Ramblers have possession now as we open the second quarter. It's Cunningham to Kalajian. Finds Mangan to Barrett. Kalajian now. Ramblers left to reset. Barrett looking. Cunningham now to Bennett. Finds Vahe. There's Mangan. Mangan's going to go backdoor. Through contact, lays it in. Petey Mangan with a nice hustle play there. That took guts to blow by his defender. As we mentioned, the 9-inch height difference.
It was a very impressive display of defense by Notre Dame, too. It was amazing that he got through that.
10-9 now. Notre Dame's lead trimmed to 1. Here's Mahosik. Through contact, posting up in the lane. Amico, and an offensive foul. D'Amico had one too many elbows. And much to the dismay of the Don faithful, it'll go the other way, and Loyola will have a chance to take the lead here with 6:53 left in the first half.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're so upset about. That was a pretty clear armbar.
Jordan almost found Barrett cutting, and Jordan will drive himself in an a non-shooting foul. That's Bergstrom's second, so the Dons in a little bit of foul trouble. They can't afford to get Bergstrom another foul, but they certainly can't afford to get Mahosik another foul. They're going to have to use the safety option out to Cunningham. Being guarded by Tienen. Now it's Mangan to Connor Barrett. Good dribble drive. Jordan now finds Mangan, kicks it out. Good pass, but Bennett passed up on a three-point opportunity. There's a wide open three. Barrett, good! Connor Barrett for three, and Loyola takes a 12-10 lead with 6:14 left in the second quarter.
Barrett had a cold start, but if he starts to heat up, this Loyola team is going to start to heat up.
And another offensive foul. That may go against Mahosic. That's his third.
Yeah, I don't know if they can play in the rest of this half.
3 fouls in about 10 minutes of play. He's been crucial, and that may have been a...
2 fouls assessed on the play. A common foul on number 13, Loyola. That is his second personal.
Cunningham.
Foul was assessed on number 13, Loyola. That is his third personal.
So they gave Horchik a technical. Cunningham makes 1 of 2 free throws. So the Loyola lead now should be up to 13-10. Scoreboard operator has not changed it. And Loyola will get the ball now, 3-point lead. So that is big for Loyola. Mahosic with 3 fouls.
Yeah, like I said, I think Notre Dame's going to be Mahosic-less for the rest of this half. It's very, very dangerous to get his 4th in the first half. Like,
Jordan Kwasinski with the travel, so the Ramblers turn it over as we're under 6 minutes left in the second quarter. Joey Tienen, the 6'0 sophomore, will take the ball up the court for Notre Dame. It's Pryor. Pryor trying to get through the Rambler defense, picked off. It's Mangan. Mangan now by himself. Peter Mangan coast to coast.
nice finish.
It's 15-10. And Notre Dame wants a timeout. They got to talk things over. The Ramblers are on a big run here. It was 10-5, and all of a sudden it's 15-10.
You don't want to understate the loss of Mahosic. He's been their best player by far so far.
He made a big 3 early in the game to set the tone, but he has just been a constant factor on defense.
He's also their tallest player by 6 inches, almost 5 inches.
It is remarkable. And I'm surprised that he's not guarding one of the Kwasinski brothers. He's guarding Peter Mangan.
Mangan's only 6'3", but he leads the team in rebounds, just extremely.
That's a 6-inch height differential. I mean, he was guarding Cunningham earlier in the game, which was a 9-inch height differential. So he really, that just speaks volumes to his capabilities on defense to shut down even guards. Loyola now still on a man-to-man defense, but are playing a little bit off of the ball as they try to float one in down underneath. And missing there was Adi Tagani. As Loyola now with a 5-point advantage, 5 minutes left, and
So it's going to be a hold.
And that is on Tagani, his first. That should be the 7th, so that'll put Cunningham at the line. Cunningham on the season is 11 for 17 from the free throw line. Checks out to about 65%. And he misses the front end, so he's 1 for 3 tonight. Ramblers have struggled with free throw shooting. As a team, they shoot 55%.
Probably have plenty of opportunities, though. They're already in the bonus, 5 minutes to go in the half.
That's right. And a foul called against Loyola. That's only the 4th team foul. And that's Barrett's 2nd foul, so he's got to be a little bit careful here with still an entire 4:51 to go. There's a spot-up jumper way off the mark. Pryor, though, with the offensive rebound. There's a corner 3 off the mark. Ball poked away. Barrett's going to fight for it. Dives on the ground. Doesn't get there. He's got to hustle back. It's 5-on-4 for the time being. Cutting in the lane. High off the glass. No good. And Mangan tried to save it. Really good hustle play. Tried to be aware and be on the court, but His momentum would not let him completely be on the court here.
Going to pull Connor Barrett, probably concerned about that second foul.
They may bring him in towards the end of the half, but there's just too much time here in the second quarter for him to go in and risk getting a third foul. There's a tip back, no good. So the Dons have not been able to finish from close range tonight. That was Tagani with another short miss as Cunningham gets a look from three. Just short. Mangan fought for a rebound, got pushed. And a good tip pass, but that should be going the other way. And it will. Entering the game for Notre Dame is Bergstrom. Reminder that he has 2 fouls, so if he picks up a third, that could really be critical for Notre Dame.
Something I've noticed about Notre Dame is they've really struggled to, like you said, put the ball up after they get offensive rebounds. Even though they've got so many offensive rebounds, it's a problem.
Mangan cutting in the lane, can't finish but is fouled.
Mangan's attempted the most free throws on the team with 27. He's only shooting 48% though.
I talked to Mangan this week and he said that was something that he had made a main focus on this week as he misses the first. He really was upset with his performance. He is shooting better from the field, 62%, than he is from the free throw line. As he missed them both, but that looked like a pretty clear lane violation against the Dons. So they may shoot that one again, and it looks like they will. It is. Mangan's chance at redemption doesn't go.
Notre Dame almost tipped in the rebound.
They did. They will get the ball, though, with under 4 left in the first half. Loyola 15, Notre Dame 10 if you're just joining us. It's been a action-packed Catholic League rivalry matchup as ND trying to chip into this Loyola lead. Their Ramblers are currently on a 10-0 run. They were down 10-5. It's now 15-10. In the corner now, gets it back up top. Top of the key for Pryor. Good defending by the Ramblers. Back to the corner they go. Driving the lane is Tagani. Tagani, and it'll be a charge. Ryan Evans will take the charge, the 5'9" junior. And that is Tagani's 3rd foul himself. He came off the bench, hasn't really been a factor, but in not even 5 minutes of play, he's racked up 3 fouls, including a charge. So right now, Ryan Evans, one of the leading candidates for that charge chain you were talking about, Peter.
Yeah, and even more importantly, Notre Dame is Loyola's in the double bonus now.
So the free throw shooting woes will be helped out by the consolation that they will get 2 shots regardless. Here's Mangan. Mangan driving and scoring. He's asserted his will so far tonight. 17-10. Mangan's got 8.
He finished that one-handed with the right hand from the left side. That was an impressive shot.
And Mangan picked his pocket. Gets it up to Cunningham. 5-on-4 for a little bit. Cunningham to Evans. Little jump pass over to Bennett. Mangan. And a foul. It looks like it'll go the other way. That'll be on Bennett. Set an illegal screen there. Into the game for the first time is Quinn Pemberton. This guy, if you want to lock down defensive stop, look no further than Quinn Pemberton. He has been absolutely shut down so far this season. Also coming back into the game is Pat Russell. And Notre Dame making a few substitutions themselves. Pryor now trying to drive. Pryor, good defensive stand by Rusty, and he almost took a charge.
Tries that didn't get called, actually.
Cunningham from downtown, off the mark, tipped out Rusty. Pemberton to Evans. The Ramblers will reset with 2 minutes left. Here's Mangan. Mangan to the lane, no good. And it was tipped, but he was out of bounds. It'll stay with Loyola. Evans will take the inbound. Finds Mangan, kicks it out Pemberton. Pemberton spinning, Cunningham. Corner for Evans. Evans driving, Mangan. Beautiful basketball for the Ramblers.
It's a very nice pass through traffic.
That's right, Mangan with double digits. He's got 10 points. It's 19-10 Loyola as we near the end of this first half. Ball tipped, fought for, kept by the Dons. Pemberton trying to shut it down on defense. There's a corner three taken. Missed. Mangan with a man's rebound there. Ramblers with 79 ticks left on this clock. A 9-point advantage. They are currently on a 14-0 scoring run.
Notre Dame has 2 points this quarter.
That's right. If even. I believe it was 8-5.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And all of a sudden it's 19-10. Cunningham for three. No good. Taken by Tienen with 52 now. There's a corner three. No good. Notre Dame can't buy a shot here. And with 44 seconds left, I think Coach Livatino was motioning for Cunningham to have the last possession here.
Yeah, he used that same hand motion at the end of the first quarter, so I believe you're right.
30 seconds now on the clock. And now they'll start the count on Mangan being guarded. He'll pass it off, though. 21 seconds to go in this first half. Here's Mangan with 15. Gets it to Rusty to Cunningham. 10 seconds now. Cunningham likely getting the last shot. Cunningham pulls up for three. No good. Rebound fought for. Still loose. Who's got it? Notre Dame's got it with one. And with 0.2 seconds left, they call a jump ball. And that could really be huge because Notre Dame gets the ball here for 0.2 seconds left. But that just means Loyola will get the first possession of the second half.
Yeah, I think that ended up being negative.
So we come to the end of the first half. A dominant second quarter from the Ramblers, outscoring Notre Dame 14-2 in that span. They lead 19-10 from Pete Mangan's 10 points. Connor Barrett added 5, Cunningham with 3, and Jordan Krasinski with a free throw. For Notre Dame's side of the offense, Sales has 3, Wahorsic has 5, and D'Amico with 2. Equaling 10 there. We encourage you to stick with us as we'll be back shortly for the second half of tonight's broadcast. Once again, at halftime, Loyola Academy 19, Notre Dame College Prep 10. You are watching
he's going to stand.
All right. Bro, are you good standing?
I don't care.
Yeah?
You run the show.
All right. Awesome. Peter, can you see us in the shot? Awesome. All right, welcome back at halftime here of a great matchup of Loyola and Notre Dame. I'm here joined by Doug Caston. Used to play in this historic rivalry years ago. What have you seen so far today?
Two really well-coached teams that play pretty hard. Very impressed with the Ramblers so far. This is my first time seeing them, or this year's edition. So really impressed with Coach Levatino and staff have done. They're active offensively. I think they're a couple made shots away from blowing this game open, so I'm looking forward to it.
It's certainly a big swing from the first quarter. So it looked like at times Notre Dame was going to run away with this, but Loyola has really turned around now, is just about taken over completely, as you mentioned. But so how many years ago was it that you were playing out here?
So I graduated in 2005, so I'm about to turn 31. I played college basketball up at Lawrence University after Loyola, actually with a member of Coach Levatino's staff, Chris Breyer. So it's fun to get back to Loyola and reconnect with Dean Hines and crew.
For sure. So do you think Loyola prepared you pretty well for your college career?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Both in the classroom obviously, and on the basketball court. I mean, Coach, I had coached Brian Tucker at the time, but I've known Coach Levatino my whole life, and they prepare like a college basketball program.
Sure.
So I'm not surprised to see it benefiting them tonight.
Yeah, for sure. We got of course, always the big matchup is Ignatius as it comes up, and it's looking like we've got a strong squad this year. Of course, we missed out on Ramar Evans, who was a big leader for the team last year, but it's looked like we've had a lot of seniors step up this year.
Yeah, I really like Kevin Cunningham. He can really shoot the ball. He's missed a few early, but they're right on line. He handles the pressure well, and he's clearly the man out there.
Yeah, he's kind of struggled this year, too, from beyond the arc. Last year he had such a great breakout season, but Connor Barrett's done a nice job stepping up this year.
Absolutely. It's a little different when you're a junior, you're under the radar. He's a marked man this year, and he's going to have to find a way to get to the free throw line and score in different ways.
So what was it like when you would play a team like Notre Dame or Ignatius?
Yeah, you know each other so well. You play each other all summer, and really it comes down to a few loose balls and a couple plays that you don't expect. You got to make a couple tough shots. Make your free throws. I hope those missed free throws in the first half of the Ramblers don't come back to haunt them, but it should be an exciting finish here.
Well, I don't know if you heard about this, but Tom Levatino has introduced the charge chain.
I have heard.
Yeah.
I have heard.
Think of that?
I wouldn't have been very good at that. Coach Levatino would not have liked it. I had a tendency to step out of the way, but clearly they enjoy it, and they've taken a few the first half, so it's working.
Yeah, last week we saw a huge difference. Like they took maybe 3 charges even just in the first couple minutes, but it's made them such much more of a physical team.
Yep.
Really helped them down low, I think.
They certainly get after you defensively. To hold Notre Dame, who clearly can score, to 10 points is really impressive. So I've been really impressed so far.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. That's awesome. All right. Are you on?
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We'd like to welcome you back here to Loyola Academy for a great matchup so far today. Two Catholic teams on the North Shore here. We got Notre Dame College Prep, the Dons, here playing the Loyola Academy Ramblers. And it's been a pretty crazy game so far as Notre Dame College Prep was really controlling the first quarter. I'm Andy Payton, joined alongside Peter Tillman here for the second half. Peter, what surprised you the most today?
Well, I think what surprised me the most was Notre Dame's foul trouble early on here. Obviously, key to their success is their height. Dusan Mahorcic, especially there at the beginning of the second quarter, getting the second personal foul and the technical foul to get his third foul in the half. Obviously, a key factor in what led Loyola to come stomping back. Obviously, the Notre Dame Dons only scoring just about 2 points there in the second quarter, Andy, and the Ramblers able to rack up about 14 to make it quite a game here at 19-10. So we'll have to see if Mahorcic is able to stay out of foul trouble here going down the stretch for the Dons. And on the Loyola side of the ball, what surprised me the most, Ryan Evans has been a little mouse in the house here for the Ramblers. He's been all over the place, going down for jump balls, just sort of thrown in there at the end of the second, pardon me, but obviously has had a clear impact on the Ramblers in terms of effort and poise that he's shown in terms of the experience needed in terms of such a heightened game, obviously, with both crowds.
Yeah, and when you speak of mouse in the house, Ryan Evans is the shortest player on the team. He stands at just 5'9". But as you mentioned, he plays like he's one of the bigger guys on the team, all over the floor, always trying to grab loose balls. And that's something that Coach Tom Levatino really stressed to his guys and has really made prominent this year as being more of a physical group. And the charge chain, I think, is a big factor of that. The charge chain, which the charge chain, as we mentioned, is something that's new this year to Loyola. Coach Tom Levatino implemented that. We apologize if you're having any trouble hearing us. We're just about to get ready to go, and they're ready to go now. Cunningham finds Barrett outside. Barrett will miss the three. Mahorcic will come down with it and finds D'Amico. D'Amico will take the ball up the court. D'Amico, Don's working the ball around the court now, as Sales is unable to connect there. Cunningham taking it down the other way. Cunningham, top of the key looking. Got a Kaninsky brother. Kaninsky back to Cunningham. Cunningham over to Barrett on the side. Barrett's going to drive over to Megan, and Cunningham's going to take a three, and it's good.
Good for Kevin getting on the board early here. Obviously, last game, Andy, we saw him struggle with a three-point shot, so good to see him finally get two tonight. Maybe it'll heat up here after this game.
There was a loose ball there gone after. It's knocked out of bounds by Barrett. It'll be Notre Dame ball here. As Bergenstone passes it into Pryor. Pryor, the 5'8" guard, passes it over to D'Amico, who finds Bergeston for a quick two. So the Dons finally getting something going here. As Peter mentioned, only scoring 2 points in the second quarter. Could this be the start of something, Peter?
Well, part of that, too, I think, is the Rambler defense. Obviously, only a couple minutes in here, and the Rambler defense has been a little bit off, but Mahorcic misses that shot. Obviously, I think it's still early yet to tell if they're going to heat up, Andy.
Cunningham having some pressure applied by Pryor. Loyola working the ball around the arc here. Such a passing offense that Tom Levatino runs. Still working around. Kaninsky under the basket, finds his brother. Top of the key, won't take the shot, over to Barrett. Barrett back over to Kaninsky. Kaninsky on the drive. Fade away. Jumper, no good. D'Amico will come down with the rebound for the Dons. The Dons now have it at the top of the arc on their side. Pryor Over to D'Amico. D'Amico has Bergerstrom. Bergerstrom feeds it inside of the big man, and he's going to get one right there. As it's Mahoric, 6'9", forward for the Dons, able to put it up.
And that's going to be where the Dons are going to get their most points, obviously, with the height advantage now early in this third quarter. We're seeing the points starting to come on the board here for the Dons.
Megan working to the side, has Cunningham at the top of the key. Cunningham swings it over to Kaninsky. Kaninsky to Barrett. Barrett back over to Kaninsky. Kaninsky on the drive. Up. And it's no good, just off the side of the rim. As Mahoric will come down with it. It's certainly a different offensive effort we're seeing from the Dons already. Kaninsky with a big defensive effort for the Ramblers, able to haul that one in. Cunningham takes it down the court. Cunningham swings it over to Kaninsky on the right side. Kaninsky looking. Passes it over to Barrett. Barrett wants a move on Kaninsky. Cunningham to Barrett for three. No good.
I think these Ramblers need to get some more inside passing here, Andy. Obviously, that's where they were really doing well at the end of the second quarter there, was their passing inside.
Pryor here for the Dons. There's a foul called on the floor. It'll be Don's ball underneath the basket here. Yeah, the Ramblers really have just been looking around the arc. Really have been no passes inside. The only time you're going to see them really go inside that arc is a drive.
Well, you know, it's interesting because they do have the two twins at 6'7", Andy, but most of the perimeter players, actually, they do like to take their shots outside at the three-point arc, and obviously they don't have the weight that you want most tall 6'7" guys to have. And it's an unfortunate disadvantage for them, but obviously for the Ramblers who love to play the three ball, I mean, they love the twins.
The Dons right there showing press, but Cunningham was able to find his man and break it. So call a foul on Pryor here. The Loyola ball underneath the basket. Evans will inbound it. Evans finds Megan inside. Megan looking. Dribbles up to the top of the key. Calls for Cunningham. Cunningham with the ball now. Cunningham to Barrett. Barrett looking inside. Doesn't have the man. Little miscommunication there. It'll be Don's ball.
You know, this Dons crowd is really getting vocal here in terms of the Ramblers. Every time Connor Barrett has touched the ball, he's been getting an air ball chant thrown at him. So we'll have to see if maybe this crowd is playing into a factor in terms of the Ramblers' mental game.
And Tom Livatino mentioned when Loyola faced a brutal loss this season to Notre in such a close one, the crowd noise did play a factor as Notre had absolutely packed the stands. Once again tonight, Notre Dame coming strong with their student section. Both sides having great turnouts. That could be a factor, as you mentioned, as we go down the game here.
And Connor Barrett getting chanted off the court by the Dons. And
it's a pass into Mahoric. Mahoric is covered by 3 minutes, finds a way somehow to still get the basket. Mahoric just showing off all 6'9" of him.
Well, and we saw a similar problem when Loyola faced Notre. The height of Spencer Baines was too much for them to overcome in the end. So they were able to get Notre was able to get the ball inside, and this Rambler team is just unfortunately too small to guard the larger man.
The tallest guys on the team here are the two sophomore brothers. Kinsey brothers stand at 6'7". Spencer Baines standing at 6'8" for Notre was too much for them. Now, as you mentioned, Mahoric standing 6'9". Shows how much size can really play a factor here in this game.
Well, and obviously not just height, but weight as well. If you're able to.
A wonderful pass by Russell. Lynch is unable to come up with the basket. Evans here. Evans in some trouble, but finds Lynch on the side. Lynch at the top of the key. Great move by Cunningham. And the basket's good there. Great move. Cunningham was able to cut to the basket. Get a quick two there. 24-16 here, Loyola. Dons with the ball top of the key. trying to find Mahoric. Covered a little too well there by the Ramblers.
Now we're seeing a change, Andy. Whereas Mahoric was a problem for Notre Dame, he's now becoming a problem for Loyola. Obviously, now drawing a double team, you're going to see more fouls being incurred against Loyola as a result.
Pryor finds Mahoric here on the side. Just to the side, wasn't able to come up with a basket. Cunningham moving it quick. Over to Lynch. Lynch back to Cunningham. He's got Russell at the top of the key. Russell to Evans. Evans to Lynch. Over to Cunningham. Finds Evans down low. Mouse in the house wasn't able to get a bucket there. Cunningham at top of the key. Mahoric with a big steal. He's going to have Bergeston, and Bergeston with an easy 2 right there. Mahoric making a great defensive play there.
Well, what a great use of the wingspan. Unbelievable. That ball was just about outside the maroon stripe, out of bounds line, and Mahoric able to just grab it with one hand and bring it back in. Almost incredible.
Mahoric has quite the wingspan, being 6'9". He's able to show it off there, as you mentioned, but certainly a different offensive effort from these Dons here, as you mentioned, and just it seems like there's so much more urgency too in this quarter.
Yeah, urgency, and also they're playing some smash mouth basketball, Andy. They're bringing the ball inside much more frequently. They're not taking that corner 3, which was quite a problem. They missed about 4 from the corner during that first half, and I think coming down the stretch here, it's going to be who could play the physical game more, Loyola or the Dons. And at the moment, as this quarter's been progressing, the Dons have been playing better smash mouth basketball, but Loyola playing the cutting game much better, Andy. As we've seen screens coming off, we saw Cunningham score that bucket there, and obviously Ryan Evans had an opportunity going in there, a little mouse in the house play, but unable to convert with the kick outside.
Yeah, that's traditional Loyola basketball. A Tom Livatino offense is usually like that. It'll be more always looking for the next pass rather than just trying to go up big down low like we're seeing here from Mahorcic today for the Dons. But really, when you have a guy like Mahorcic standing 6'9", you got to think you take advantage of the size and always just go down low.
Well, right, and I think we've seen that obviously with some of the foul on Pat Russell there at just about the 3-minute mark. We've seen that they're trying to get it inside more.
The Ramblers have it at the top here. Cunningham over to Kaninsky. Kaninsky fakes the shot over to his brother. Find back to Cunningham. Barrett's got the ball here. Finds Cunningham top of the arc for 3, and it's good. Cunningham has really struggled this year from beyond the arc after having such a great junior season 3-point wise. But today he's really stepped up and had a phenomenal day. There's a big steal there from Kaninsky.
Yeah, just about 3 for 5 today around the arc for Cunningham, and we got a holding penalty down low for the Dons. But frankly, as you said, Andy, one of his best shooting days from the arc. The game against St. Francis obviously struggled mightily, and Connor Barrett ended up picking up some of the slack. But now we've seen with Connor Barrett slack, and we've seen Kevin coming up and taking that position. And I think that's some of the dangers of this Loyola team. One man goes down and another steps up in his place.
Cunningham again for 3. This time it's just off the mark. Mahorcic on the rebound finds Pryor. Pryor with the ball here at the top of the key. Looking for a man, doesn't have him. Once Mahorcic, doesn't have him again. It'll be Bergeston at the top of the key. Bergeston. Over to Sales. Sales will put the bucket up and he'll get it.
Yeah, they're very high on Anthony Sales. He's on a couple top recruiting lists right now and hasn't played a very dynamic game so far, but has had somewhat of an impact with his athleticism.
Loyola only leading by 7 here, 27-20. Megan finds Kaninsky outside for a good look at 3, but he won't take it. Kaninsky dribbles it back up and has Barrett here. Megan here. Megan over to Cunningham. 24 seconds remain in the third quarter here. It's over to Megan. Megan's got it. Back over to Cunningham. 16 seconds now. Cunningham with some trouble with Pryor at the top. Barrett on the screen. Cunningham still going to have Pryor. Cunningham over to Barrett. Barrett's got an open look for 3, and he connects.
Oh, fantastic. Way to silence silence the critics of the Notre Dame crowd and the quarter there.
The Ramblers lead by 10 here, 30-20 as we end here the third quarter. But the Dons certainly stepped up here in this third quarter, but Loyola's just responded tremendously, as we just saw from 3 efforts from Barrett and Kevin Cunningham today.
Right, Andy, and obviously the Dons playing a little bit more fierce defense with that height inside, but Ramblers a little bit unfazed. They've been managing to keep this 10-point lead mostly intact. Just the 6-point lead was just about as low as it got, but other than that, the Ramblers have been playing fantastic defense out on the arc. They've been getting some steals, jumping out in front of passes, trying to keep it as far away from Mahorcic as you can get. And so far, they've found success with that, Andy.
They've been able to do it with just 3 team fouls here in the second half. And Notre Dame at 4. But both teams being relatively well in terms of team fouls and getting into trouble.
Yeah, and a little surprising, obviously, with the height of the Dons. You would expect a little bit more fouls, contact on the arm, stuff like that, but hasn't really been happening so far this third quarter. And like you said, Andy, only 3 fouls for the Ramblers. Congratulations to 842-670 ticket. You've just won a prize. Please go down to the scoreboard.
Dons will have it here to begin the fourth quarter. It's Pryor at the top of the key, finds Salies. Salies over to Bergerstrom. Bergerstrom finds the big man Mahorcic, but a huge block from Kaninsky there. Jordan Kaninsky getting up and over to big fella, able to shut him down. Big stop to start the fourth quarter.
Huge stop and a big block. Great physical play. The Ramblers trying to finally get physical here in the fourth quarter, maybe to keep this lead at arm's length again, Andy.
Ramblers working the ball here. Barrett will find Megan. It'll be back up to Cunningham. Cunningham over to Kaninsky. Over to the other Kaninsky brother. Kaninsky to Cunningham. Thought he might take a 3. Didn't. For to Megan. Megan back to Cunningham. Cunningham has Kaninsky at the top. Back over to his brother. Good move there. Over to Cunningham again. Ramblers working the ball well. Here's the drive by Kaninsky. Draws the foul.
And I like the way, Andy, the Loyola offense set up there. No sense of urgency, just milking the clock as much as they can and getting plenty of passes in order to keep the Dons defense at bay and just finding that one shot that they can take.
Kaninsky connects on the first here. The first half, Luke Phillips, our other commentator, mentioned this team has struggled from the line today and on the season. Kaninsky having no trouble on his first one here, and he gets them both. Puts the lead at 12. Just under 7 minutes remaining in this one. The freshman Anthony Salines has the ball at the top of the key. Nice move. Connor Barrett with a huge steal. He's going up with it. That's the back of the, he had the backboard actually on the way up. The backboard stopped it, but Kaninsky was able to get the rebound and put it up. Barrett, good defensive effort here. Ramblers able to get it again. With Kaninsky at the top of the key. Stolen by Pryor. Pryor to the basket. No good. There is a foul on the floor.
Well, interesting, Pryor there did not get too frantic. Actually stayed quite calm with Kaczynski running down the court and just stayed in his position. Knew Kaczynski might try to go for a spin move to move out of the way and ended up coming up with a steal there. But obviously on the defensive end for the Ramblers, great job hustling back and just finding some way to get in front of Mahorcic.
Jordan Kaninsky was called there for the foul. Puts Loyola at 4.5 as Pryor misses his first attempt at the line. Gets the second. Cuts the lead to 13. Heavy press here from the Dons. Cunningham able to find Barrett near half court. Has an open Megan. Megan to Kaninsky in the corner. Kaninsky was wide open for 3. didn't take it. You know, there's so many times you're going to see Kaninsky where he's open in the corner and he just doesn't seem to take the shot.
And I think that's just inexperience, Andy. Obviously a little hostile environment here and maybe just not too confident with that shot yet, but a little bit of frustration there showing from Pryor in terms of that little shove foul there. Interesting to see how that plays out as the game wears on.
Cunningham with the ball for the Ramblers. Finds Kaninsky on the right side. He's double teamed. And they will get it. Bergeson will come up with a big turnover. He finds Pryor near the basket. Unable to connect there. But Jordan Kaninsky really should have had that rebound right there. Just went out of his hands.
Yeah, it looks like he jumped as the ball was going down and it just sort of slipped right through his hands. But interesting how we have a 5'8" junior taking the ball out here.
Peter Megan picks up the foul there. Second on the day, be the team's 5th. The Dons, as they had Mahorchich, and he missed 2 easy layups there.
Well, I do have to say, Andy, it is incredible to watch Mahorchich jump and see how high he gets above these Rambler defenders. Practically right at the rim. Surprised maybe not a dunk attempt, just to try to get some points up, but
Mahorchich is down on the other end, trying to talk to the ref, trying to see what's going on there. A little upset with the foul call.
And he better be careful here. He already has a technical foul for complaining to actually that referee, Andy, and we'll have to see if that ends up turning into a technical foul if he keeps talking.
It puts Cunningham at the line. Cunningham will connect on his first. Cunningham puts the lead here at 14. And the second is good as well. The Ramblers lead 36-21 here, just under 6 minutes. Pryor will take the ball up for the Dons.
And if you're the Dons, just get it inside and get a nice easy bucket. Try to start something.
Dons working the ball around here as Salines to the top for 3. And the freshman, Anthony Salines, connects on a big 3. Keep the Dons in this one.
And no surprise, obviously, Anthony Salines, very talented. Highly touted for his athleticism and his scoring, so no surprise that he's having some sort of success here.
Anthony Salines comes from Haven Middle School, which is just by Loyola, just in Evanston. A lot of people thought Anthony might attend Loyola. Ultimately went with Notre Dame in the end, obviously. What a great talent he is, and at such a young age.
Well, at such a young age, and especially to be so highly touted, and like you said, highly touted like that at such a young age. He's truly a special young man in terms of his athleticism.
Doesn't seem to fear the spotlight at all. As he, in his opening game as a freshman, 12 points and 11 rebounds. Excuse me, 12 points and 8 rebounds. So there's about 5 minutes and 35 seconds left in this one. Loyola will inbound the ball. Don showing signs of press here. They'll be inbound to Cunningham. Cunningham back to Megan. Megan to Cunningham. They got to break this press. Back over to Megan. Megan looking for Barrett down, but Salines picks up the basket. It's going the other way for the Dons. Don swinging the ball around the arc here. Salines has Pryor. Pryor on the drive. Kicks it out. Take the shot there, and it's a good for Troy D'Amico. D'Amico, another freshman for this Dons team. This time the press break for the Ramblers will work as they'll find Barrett. He'll pick up a quick bucket there.
So smooth by Connor Barrett there.
There's a traveling violation on Pryor. It'll be Loyola ball.
All Loyola has to do here down the stretch, Andy, is simply break this press. If they can just keep getting the ball on their side, they are going to eat this clock away. We've seen the passing play We all know it for last year from Ignatius. 8 out, just about 3 minutes of the clock here in the fourth quarter.
And that can be the advantage of no shot clock at this level. You can chew up as much time as you like. The Don's pressing Cunningham hard here. Able to find Kaninsky, and he has it up to Barrett. Ramblers working the ball around the arc here. A little miscommunication, nearly went out of bounds. Kaninsky was able to hold on to it. See over to Megan. And he'll turn it over with the double team threat of the Dons over to Salines, and Salines goes all the way to the basket and draws the foul.
So athletic, what control to be able to go up and make an attempt at the layup, especially with 5 inches on him. Bennett Kaczynski, that's gonna be 2 on Bennett Kaczynski, but with 4 minutes left here, Anthony Salines coming in clutch for the Dons.
Salines will hit his first. And Salines has an opportunity to make this a 10-point game. About 4 minutes and 26 seconds remain in this one.
And he's been running all up and down the court for the Dons. Actually was trotting there when he actually got the steal.
The second one goes in and out. Megan grabs the rebound. Again, Don showing some heavy press. Megan nearly threw it out of bounds. Cunningham was able to come up with it. Huge pass there over to Megan, finds Evans on the other side of the court. The Ramblers able to escape the heavy press defense that the Dons showed there. So they're going to work the ball around the arc here. Mouse in the house, Evans has the ball. Don's able to poke it out from him, and Salines has an open bucket and capitalizes as the lead is cut to 9.
Physical game here at the end of the fourth quarter. Refs trying to let him play with about 4 minutes left.
Barrett's got it in open court. Unable to connect. Horchich puts a spin move on him. Unable to connect. Pryor grabs the rebound, puts it up. There's a foul before the shot. It'll be on Megan.
Well, these Ramblers are dropping all over the place. I got to tell you, whether it's rebounds or even just simple dribbling like you saw Ryan Evans, they are having a hard time just positioning themselves. Some sort of confusion here with the referees.
Nevertheless, here's Pryor.
And we are in bonus land, Andy.
Both teams sit at 17 fouls total. Bennett Kaninsky will come in for Ryan Evans here. Just about a foot difference between the two. Pryor will attempt his first free throw, and it's good.
And you were mentioning earlier, Andy, the free throw problems that Loyola's had could play into a factor here. We're only an 8-point game, and 3 minutes is almost too much time for an 8-point difference. So we will have to see if those missed free throws early on are going to play a factor here.
Pryor connects on his second. Another heavy press shown by the Dons. Ramblers really struggling with that, but they're able to find Barrett up top and get out of this one.
Can't be making those rainbow passes.
Lynch had an open 3, didn't take it. Over to Cunningham. Cunningham. Heavy press there. Excuse me, heavy defense there. Ooh, Pryor nearly had a steal. Lynch in some trouble. Finds Megan. He's unable to connect on the layup.
That's unfortunate. Megan's been having those all day and not having his way there.
Pryor has D'Amico in the corner. Foul's called on Megan. Puts Loyola at 18 fouls here in the second half.
5 fouls here in the fourth quarter, I believe, Andy, as we mentioned. Fouls not much of a factor in the third.
They're in great shape team fouls wise before heading into the fourth quarter for sure.
Maybe a little exhaustion playing into that, as this press has been absolutely deadly.
Horchich misses his free throw. Megan grabbed it, and Anthony Salines nearly knocked it out of his hand. Megan inbounds it to Cunningham. Just under 3 minutes remain in this one. 7-point lead for the Ramblers.
And Kevin Clancy sized on the sideline at the referees.
Kevin Clancy is in his first year as the Dons head coach. Actually was an assistant coach for 10 years for the Dons. He was a player himself as he was part of the graduating class of 1998 for Notre Dame. He was on the historic 97 Notre Dame team that went all the way to the state championship.
About 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go here, Andy. You have to imagine the Ramblers are just going to try to pass it around the arc and hope they're going to find a hole inside the lane and wait for their shot. But if you're the Dons, you obviously don't have that luxury.
And the Dons are going to try to go for that ball quick on defense, and the press has just been so successful for them today.
So successful, and just they've been containing Kevin Cunningham to that right corner, and I got to tell you, some of those passes have been a little risky, Andy, and at one point here, you got to imagine that one of them is going to get picked off.
Certainly, and a few have. And Lynch will inbound the ball here for Loyola. Lynch will find Cunningham in the open backcourt. Pryor on Cunningham here. Pryor forcing Cunningham to the left, and it's nearly taken away there by Bergerstrom. Kaninsky over to Lynch, and it goes right between his hands, but Cunningham able to pick it up. Loyola swinging the ball around here. Great move by Cunningham. Barrett for three, no good. Bergerstrom will come up with it for the Dons. Lynch and Pryor fall to the floor, tangled their feet there near half court. Pryor's got the ball at the top, dishes it out to Salines. Anthony Salines has the ball. We are under 2 minutes to go.
Oh, and look at the hustle by John Lynch to get across the court. Unfortunate foul call, but he was all the way at the other block, Andy, when that pass was thrown, and managed to get all the way over there fast. Maybe some of those corner skills coming in, Andy.
Usually John Lynch is a cornerback for the Loyola Academy runner-up in the Class 8A football team. Horchich at the line, connects on his first. Cuts the lead to 6. So these are the big free throws, as you mentioned, that can come down to haunt you if you don't make them right here.
And we got a hot one boiling here in the East Gym of Loyola.
Horchich, the second is good. Lead cut to 5. Minute 54 remain. And a traveling violation on John Lynch.
Crucial turnovers the Ramblers can't afford, Andy. Crucial turnovers. This Dons crowd that has been mostly out of the game for most of the second half has come back with a fiery passion. I mentioned the Dons are actually nearing double bonus territory, Andy. 9 team fouls for Loyola.
Notre Dame is on a 12-13 run.
12-3 run.
Excuse me, 12-3 run, yes. Thank you, Peter.
Of course. Obviously, a minute 51 left here. Dons must continue to force the turnovers if they want to make this some sort of a game.
And they have.
And they definitely have. They've been able to do it, but obviously sustaining these turnovers is the problem. Tom Livatino is so good at adjusting his team.
Jason Bergstrom for the Dons. The 6'4" sophomore has been all over the court. Had 2 big steals for the Dons. Him and Mahorchich, the 2 big threats down on defense.
don't count out Anthony Sales here. The freshman has had some extreme poise, Andy. We saw him take that cold-blooded 3, and then obviously the dribble drive for the foul with 2 free throws.
So Pryor will inbound it for the Dons. Back to Pryor. Pryor at the top of the key, has Salines in the corner. Sought about a 3, didn't take it. Has a wide open Troy D'Amico for a quick bucket. Salines had got into it with Cunningham down under the basket. Looks like he tripped Cunningham there. But D'Amico's bucket makes it a 3-point game. A minute 37 remaining. Cunningham is at the line.
And these are those free throws we've talked about, Andy. These are the times when Loyola needs them, and obviously such a
Cunningham is unable to connect. Pryor grabs the rebound, sends it up the court for the Dons. D'Amico over to Salines. Salines over to Pryor on the right side. Pryor looks for Salines. Megan knocks it out of bounds, so it'll stay with the Dons.
What incredible trust by Coach Clancy to have in Salines. They've been giving him the ball early and often here.
Pryor. Pryor had a 3, didn't take it. Look at Bergerstern in the corner, but Connor Barrett knocks it out of bounds.
This is where the Rambler defense excels at just digging in and keeping those passes on the perimeter.
Pryor inbounds it to D'Amico and immediately gives it back to Pryor. Pryor looking to drive. Cunningham showing some tight D. Ball's kicked over to Salines in the corner. Salines to Pryor.
And if you notice this Rambler defense, anytime the ball looks to go in Horchich's way, they've been throwing a double team.
Horchich down low. Huge defensive effort from the Kaninsky brothers. It'll be Loyola ball. 47 seconds remain.
Well, Horchich lucky he didn't get a foul call there. He actually ended up shoving Jordan Kaczynski out of the pile.
Megan will inbound the ball. Doesn't have anyone, in some trouble. Luckily able to find Jordan Kaninsky.
Again, we've talked about those passes that need to be more crisp. They cannot be like that for the Ramblers. Again, if you're the Dons, just stay with what you've been doing, Andy. I think that they haven't done anything wrong. It's the Ramblers that have been doing everything right on defense. Obviously, every time that ball's rotated over to Horchich, they've been able to throw a double team on him, or at least there's one other man in the area of Horchich.
I'd imagine at this timeout, Livatino is probably going to be trying to talk something up about a press break. They've just struggled tremendously today with breaking this heavy Don defense.
The thing that makes it so effective is that the Dons are very energetic on the defense. They like to put their hands in your face. They're waving them around and making you feel a little bit more or less space than you have, you know, and I think that's been a factor in terms of the passes. You know, you feel like they're not there, but there are holes there that some of the Ramblers have been unable to find.
And even right there, it looked like Jordan Kaninsky was open for a little bit. Megan just didn't see it.
We have seen that too, some of the cuts. Their heads are just not turned.
Megan finds Barrett. Passes it over to Jordan Kaninsky. He'll dribble it over the half-court line. Bennett Kaninsky's in some trouble. Finds Megan. Megan will have the ball at the top left side. Crucial turnover there. Bennett Kaninsky dribbled it off his foot and went right out of bounds. Timeout called by the Dons.
Again, just these mental hiccups from the Ramblers down the stretch. We saw it against Notre, the mishandling the ball by Kevin Cunningham, and right there, obviously, another mishandle. I believe Pete Mangan, was the one who had it bounced off his foot. And again, that could be a result of the physical play here, Andy. The Dons have been playing so physical down the stretch.
Really stepped up and have been just so aggressive here. About 30 seconds remain. It's a 3-point game. The turnover, it will be Notre Dame ball.
Just a note for the fans at home, Loyola has one more timeout in the Dons too, so something to keep track of down the stretch here if Loyola needs to call a timeout to get a play set.
So Jason Bergstrom will inbound it here. Looks like Salines will take it up the court, and he will.
This is Saley's territory right here. They're going to try to get him open.
And Salines collided there with Jordan Kaninsky at the top. He picks up his first personal on the day. Puts the Ramblers in a double bonus here. Anthony Salines will connect on his first attempt here.
Stone cold. This Rambler crowd is fired up.
And Salines connects to make this a 1-point game. Loyola 38, Notre Dame 37. Salines guarding Cunningham heavy. Cunningham able to find Barrett. But Barrett is in some serious trouble. Works the ball over to Kaninsky. Cunningham at the top of the key, dribbling around, and is finally fouled by Jason Bergstrom. 10 seconds remain here. Cunningham is at the line, and these are some must-make free throws here for Kevin Cunningham.
Yes, it's must-makes and lucky play by the Ramblers there. Connor Barrett getting stuck up top and able to get that pass off.
And Notre Dame will use one of those timeouts you mentioned. So both teams will have one timeout remaining.
Well, we got an interesting one boiling down here with 10 seconds. Obviously, like you said, must makes from Kevin Cunningham. He missed on his last bonus, and yeah, just about a total of 6 or 7 free throw misses for the Ramblers here down the stretch that, you know, obviously we don't know how the game would have played out, but could have played a pretty big factor here. You're up 45 now.
Certainly, I have to think it'd be a completely different story right now.
Absolutely. Obviously, the shooting struggles for Connor Barrett have been quite an issue. Obviously, Kevin Cunningham picking up some of the slack, but so hot against the St. Francis team last week, and this week just not here against the Dons of Notre Dame.
But great things happen in the last few seconds of games.
Yeah, and if you're the Dons here coming down, don't be surprised to see them just go right to Haworchich or give it to their freshman.
Anthony Salines has shown that he has ice in his veins today. Now it's Kevin Cunningham's turn. Cunningham. Big free throw there.
Fantastic. Obviously with this Dons crowd, again the mental game, Andy, we've been talking about.
Now this is the big one. So make it a 3-point game. And he gets it.
Fantastic job.
Salines inbounds at the Pryor. Pryor will take it up the court. Pryor looking for Salines. Finds a way to work it around Megan. As the clock goes down, shot is no good, and that'll do it. Loyola 40, Notre Dame 37. Final.
Quite a heart attack there at the end there, Andy, but Ramblers able to pull one out. And obviously, MVP of the game has to be the defense.
Defense really did step up today. What a tremendous game it was today for both teams. I'd like to thank you all for joining us here today. I'm Andy Payton, joined alongside Peter Tillmont, Luke Phillips, and Peter Schlacks. thank you all for joining us, and we wish you will have a wonderful night.
Drive home safe.